Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you didn't know by now, my name is Diana, aka Chef D, and today guys, we are making a one-pot fall-inspired soup. Now, if y'all watched my videos before, guys, you know that my jam is one-pan meals, one-pot meals, because ain't nobody got time for that. So honestly, you know, we're rushing, we want good flavors, we want a good meal, and this is why I'm bringing to you this soup. Honestly, guys, this is pretty much one of my favorite things to go in fall and in winter. Now, this soup is honestly a hybrid between a pasta fagioli and a minestrone soup with, you know, some things on top of here. But honestly, this soup is really just seasonal produce like delicata squash, like yellow squash, northern beans, kidney beans, garbanzo beans, all that in a beautiful vegetable broth. This is definitely, you know, a meatless lunch and a meatless dinner when you want that protein. And we're actually going to be switching it up because y'all, we need to make this healthy. So I swapped out the regular pasta for a chickpea pasta. I experimented using different types of pasta, and in that link down below, y'all, on that website, guess what? I got you. It's an 8 to 9 minute range for the pasta to boil, and you've got yourself a beautiful cozy soup with, you know, nothing, you know, that you're gonna be like, oh my god, this is so difficult. No guys, this is super easy, and it's literally using one pot. So guys, I hope you enjoy this recipe, and if you do, please don't forget to give this video a big like, a big share, and a big subscribe, and please don't forget to hit that notification button, guys, so you never miss a video with Chef D. Let's get rolling. Let's begin by gathering all of our ingredients, as this is just going to make things so much more easier. Now, the great thing about this recipe is that we're using the delicata squash, which is the easiest type of squash to slice and dice. We're gonna do the mirepoix. So the mirepoix is pretty much a celery, carrots, and onions. And what I love doing is pretty much dicing them, or if you don't want to dice them, you can just go ahead and chop them as you'd like. Now, this is really important because this is actually the base for this amazing fall soup recipe. Now for the carrots, you can do this two ways. You can literally just get 2 medium carrots, or you can get those baby little carrots and you can either slice them, dice them, or cut them like I said before. What I like doing is pretty much slicing the carrot in the middle, slicing it halfway once again, lining them up and chopping them or dicing them up. This is the easiest trick and the easiest way to get these carrots looking nice and a little bit more of a bite-sized piece that we're looking for. Remember, the smaller the carrots, the easier it will be to cook. Now that we have our mirepoix done, pretty much we're going for my favorite veggie, garlic. As you guys know, my love for garlic is endless, and we are using 4 large or extra large cloves of garlic. Now, I like in my recipe for my garlic to be sliced, but I know a lot of people do not want to see that garlic. They just want that flavor. Totally understandable, but the only thing you need to do is, instead of slicing it, just chopping it. And like you see in the video, I went from slicing all the way to chopping for the video's sake, of course. And now what I love doing is pretty much setting this aside. Remember, when we will be cooking this garlic, this is going to be almost at the end when we're done cooking that mirepoix. We do not want any burnt garlic in that soup. Now for the yellow squash. We just want to literally slice them into 4s, place them down on your cutting board, and slice them up into bite-sized pieces. Now, I do advise, please do not cut them very thin, as they will be cooking in the soup and we don't want them to disintegrate in the soup. So let's go for a little bit more of a thicker bite here. Now for the delicata squash. This is very simple. Slice off the ends, slice it right in the middle, bring everything down to the board and slice them once again. Take out those beautiful seeds. Now, mind you, with those seeds, you can definitely scrape out the innards, and you're left with the seeds. Bake them in the oven, put a little bit of salt and black pepper, and they are delicious. Now that we have officially dissected our delicata squash, we are just going to slice them again in half and slice them right into bite-sized pieces. Like I said, we don't want them very thin. We kind of almost want it in a thick bite-sized piece, as you see in the video. Now we're gonna get to prepping and dicing and slicing our second delicata squash. Now I'm just going to let you guys see the prep area, but I really wanted to talk about this squash. Why it's my favorite, guys, it's because when I'm prepping it, and you'll see it's much more faster, much more easier than an actual like butternut squash. Haven't you noticed with the butternut squash and the spaghetti squash that you have to really muster some strength to cut those squashes? And with this squash, it's just plain and simple. A little strength and you're good to go. Now that we have our veggies prepped up, a disclaimer about the 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes. Please do not discard that beautiful tomato liquid, as we will be using that for cooking. Guys, I seriously love the prep work. Now back to the video. In a large pot, preferably an extra large pot if you have one, turn your stovetop to a medium-high heat and pour the oil of your choice. Let that oil come up to a mild heat and add in your diced and chopped celery, carrots, and onions, aka mirepoix. Make sure you're stirring as you're going. Now let's add in our chopped or sliced garlic. Now this is really important. Please don't add this at the beginning of when we're making the mirepoix. We do not want any burnt garlic. Now, half a teaspoon of salt. The reason we're adding salt is because we want these veggies to sweat and glisten. Next, our beautiful yellow squash. Mix everything together so we can marry those flavors, and we're gonna be adding our beautiful delicata squash now. Mix everything together. We want every single bite to have some flavor, and now we are adding the infamous red tomatoes. Like I said before in the video, we added every single inch of the tomatoes. Now let's add in our black pepper. Make sure you're seasoning as you go. It's time for the beans, y'all. We're adding chickpeas, northern beans, kidney beans, all a source of amazing protein, amazing fiber, and a great substitute for any meatless dinner or lunch that you want to have. Now let's add in our 9 cups of veggie broth and our beautiful either dried or fresh bay leaves and our dried basil, dried oregano. Let's mix everything up. Let's add in our 4 to 5 teaspoons of salt. This really depends on your liking. And now we're going to be adding that beautiful fresh spinach. Mix everything once again. This is about mixing, guys. Season once again. Like I said, season as you go. This is very important and very vital. Pop that lid on top and let everything cook for 20 minutes. Once the 20 to 25 minutes are up, pop that lid open again and add in your chickpea pasta or the pasta of a choice. And then what we're gonna do is just stir everything together, pop that beautiful lid back on or a foil paper back on, and let that cook for 8 to 9 minutes. We want the pasta to be a little bit al dente. We don't want it to disintegrate in the soup, so that's why my mark is pretty much at an 8 to 9 minute range. Once that pasta is done, make sure to taste the soup and taste the broth and season it once again to get it to your perfect liking. Last step to this is adding grated Parmesan cheese. I honestly add either half a cup to 1 cup of Parmesan cheese. This really just depends on what I have available at the house, but I will go for half a cup. Take out those bay leaves before serving and let's get to plating. Look at those beautiful beans and seasonal veggies in that beautiful broth. Guys, this is definitely a fall inspired one pot soup. If this doesn't scream fall, I don't know what does. Once you're done serving the dishes, just add a little bit of that grated freshly Parmesan cheese on top, a little bit more of black pepper, and voila, you are done. And welcome back to the taste testing, y'all. Now, this is honestly, not gonna lie here, my favorite part, as you all know. Now, I'm really just excited just to get like all these flavors. It's hot, this is hot, so that's why I have it in this little morsel of salt container. This is like by far one of like the best hybrid soups that I've ever invented, liked, and I definitely recommend this. The first note that I'm actually getting is like the kidney beans, and for some reason when I get the kidney beans, like all I can think about is potato, and I know there isn't any potato in here, but that is automatically the texture that I'm getting. And then all of a sudden I get like the squash flavor, and then like the Parmesan cheese flavor, and then like the veggie broth flavor. Guys, you need to try this soup and let me know. You'll thank me later in those fall and winter days that are upon us. I know that you guys are going to really love the soup, especially when you got those days. Like, I know I got those days that I'm feeling like, listen, I'm not really feeling like meat, chicken. I just want like veggies and like, you know, but I still want like protein and I still want that fiber. This is your go-to. I'm just gonna say it. This is definitely your go-to. So anyways, guys, please don't forget to give this video a big like and a big share and a big subscribe. And stay tuned for next week's video. Ciao.